Thank you very much. Okay, first is AC Studio. I'm the creative director of AC, so there's an S after the ACE. So it's AC Studio, and I'm
Okay, great.
also I'm also the creative director of, and communication officer for a charity. It's an NGO. So, well, that's all. That's all good for you, you know. But I'm glad. I'm really, really glad to be here. It's an honor, and I don't take it lightly. Like I don't take it lightly. It's always amazing having to be around creating and sharing. I love the way you said it's our little experience. I'm not here because I'm better than everyone, or I'm not here because that is the best, or I'm here because you found it okay, like interest that I might have something someone here might want to listen to, and it's really a privilege. I'll just put it that way. So my name is Ik Ojibe, and I'm a graphic designer focused on brand identity design, and I'm also a fan of the creative industry. And when I mean the creative industry, I mean the creatives. I'm always pro creative. May you call that bias or no, bro? It's fine. Like, we have to look out for each other. So I'll just put it that way. All right, so let's just jump right into it now. We're talking about time management, and you just said something is quite interesting. Time management is important. Like it's very, very important. When I started, I've lost jobs because of poor time management, and I know it's the same story for some designers or some creatives out there. Like we learn the skill, like, and some of us, especially trained in Nigeria, Africa, however you want to put it, because we just go out because we are self-taught. Now, most of these mistakes or these things will hit, this roadblock will hit because we are self-taught in the sense that you wake up one day, it's either you start from YouTube or you just, or even if you go to maybe someone, you go meet a graphic designer to take you or train you on graphic design or whatever it is, like you just start there. But no one really takes you through the business part of the design. Because it's one thing to know about, how would you put it? It's one thing to know about the operation side or the technical aspect of design, but it's another thing to know about the business aspect of design. This is why I believe that this Virtenship project, this is 1.0, I believe it's going to see 1000.0 if the Lord tarries. It's quite important because it has gone beyond training designers or equipping designers with technical skill. I believe that what you want to learn now when it comes to Photoshop, like you know everything when it comes to technical skill. Even if you don't know, you don't even need to know everything. You just need to find one or two persons that. Oh, I think someone is complaining about. Oh, okay. Please, can you indicate if you can hear me at all so I don't end up talking to myself? Because
Okay, I think maybe it's a little echo from your background, but I hope I can be heard. I think it's just a little echo from your background. So
okay,
maybe
let me just try and fix it up. Just give me some few seconds.
Better, please. Hello? Oh, okay. Thank you very much, sir.
yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Well, so like I was saying, the soft skill aspect or the business aspect, if you look around, the Chris Does of this world, the Tola Alabis of this world, the Miracle Michaels of this world, and so on and so forth, you find out that what makes them stand out is not because they are the best technically. It's because they've mastered the art of business or selling. They master the art of the business side of design. Most designers, we just grab the technical side, and then sometimes we learn the business side. That's why you see some designers decide, okay, now let me just handle the technical side and then probably work for an agency, or handle the technical side and have some sort of manager or someone that runs the business side. And some decide, okay, now I need to know this and I need to know this as well. And time management is that part of the business side. So now I'm looking at my I just Google time management on my laptop now, and it's saying time management is the process of organizing and planning how to divide your time between specific activities. If you go through Google, there are about 1,001 aspect definition of time management. It just basically states that, let me say it again. Time management, for me, in my own opinion, this is how I define it, is respecting the schedule of others and your peace of mind. If there's one thing you don't want to, if there's one area as a creative you don't want to hamper, you don't want to treat haphazardly or whatever, it is your peace of mind, because it's important. Like, your peace of mind is important. Like I said, I don't know, maybe someone here haven't done that, but who has promised a client that your job is going to come out in 5 days, or I'm going to finish this project in 5 days, and then you end up not meeting that? You end up probably needing 10-15 days to finish that project. I'll raise up my hand. I've been one. I don't know if anybody has gone through that before, so please indicate. So I'm pretty sure I'm talking to the right audience. Please indicate if anyone has. I want to be sure I'm talking to the right audience. Like, very well, very well. Like, why did that happen? And in the worst case scenario, you get to lose the client because the client becomes frustrated. Why? And there's something I've learned throughout this. Allow the client scheduling of the project. I don't care how big you are as a brand. I don't care how, call it how will I say, universal or worldwide, whatever your reach is. I don't care if you're Coca-Cola, I don't care if you're Apple. I don't want to be in that position ever again where I allow the client give me or dictate the deadline to me. So I always want to be the one in charge of that deadline. Now, also something else I want to ask is this: who amongst us here, you've given a client, okay, this project is going to take 3 weeks. Yes, the first week you did absolutely nothing. In fact, you did absolutely nothing. The second week you did absolutely nothing. The last week, 3 days before the deadline, you started working on the project. I'm the first to raise my hand because I'm guilty. I was guilty of that. I was guilty of that. Now, these are flaws in time management. These are really, really. I was fortunate enough to do project management, and I saw during my course in project management, I saw the importance of time management. But I don't like to dwell on the theory aspect of all this, because we're talking from experience. We're talking practicality, what is applicable to us as creatives. Now, this first scenario of you gave the client 5 days and you ended up needing 15 days to do this project, and the second scenario of you give the client 3 weeks and you end up starting the project 3 days to the deadline of the project. These, like I said, are time management flaws. Now, what can you do? What can you do to what can you do to mitigate these things? Because from my definition of time management, these two scenarios shows that you do not respect the scheduling of the other person, and then you don't value your own peace of mind. That project you started 3 days to the deadline, trust me, the creativity or how you want your creative sense or to operate at that, the sparks in our head, in our brains that forms its creativity and all, like we are putting it in overdrive. We are thinking about a lot of things. Okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to sort out this. Like you're thinking, and then you put yourself under an undue stress, or like you put yourself in some sort of stress that you're not even ready to handle. At the end of the day, the client might tell you, oh, I don't really like this job, like please go back to the drawing board, or say one, or if you're unfortunate enough to be dealing with all these clients from hell, they really talk down on you and all. But we want to avoid all those things. Like I said, one thing you have to take out of here: never allow your client handle the timeline of any project. I don't care if you're working with Apple. If Apple tell you you get a project to work with Apple, and they're like, yeah, we want to do this and we're launching next week, and they probably call you up and then it's on a Thursday of the previous week and they want to launch on Monday. Please, like, it's not possible, like it's not possible. Don't be in that position because it's Apple. Like, wow, it's Apple, the money's going to be big. You're putting yourself, you're not valuing your peace of mind. So what are the things I've come to learn, or what are the things I've come to do in terms of this time management? Like I said, when I started, it was a brutal experience, because you're getting so many jobs, you're getting left, right, center, and the painful thing is that you're getting so many jobs, and by the time you collate how much all of them are paying, it's not even worth the stress you're putting yourself through. But then now you're getting a lot of jobs, from these designs to that designs, and then I need to do some sort of magic with this. How do I handle this? Make sure that I don't break down, and at the same time, I am actually serving this client or serving this group well. Now, the natural thing we all do is the first thing we all do is we do some sort of to-do list, and thank God now we have digital softwares or applications to help us with that. You have sticky notes on your laptops or PCs, desktop, whatever. You have sticky notes. You do to-do list and all that. Okay, today I'm going to do this, that. Now, to-do list is a very, very important aspect. To-do list is one very important aspect of time management. I encourage anybody here, if you don't have a to-do list of a project, if you don't have a to-do list, not just for projects, in fact, it should be a daily thing. Now, you wake up today, there should be a to-do list of what you want to accomplish today, down to the things that you don't see as important. To-do list of visiting a friend, to-do list of going to the mall, to-do list of going to the cinema to watch a movie. These things actually count, because to-do list gives your day some sort of plan, or it organizes your life. It makes you feel in charge. Now, don't be too rigid, because of course something might happen and then you might have to go, of course. But then now it should be part of your to-do list. Like, okay, I need to actually do this thing. I need to actually allow for some flexibility here, so that in case if anything happens during the course of my day, like I'm quite flexible here. But then now, this thing I'm talking about is not for people living in Lagos, because you have to meet. It's not for people living in Lagos. I don't know how you guys, like, seriously, I think you need superpowers to stay in Lagos and all, but it's a story for another day. But one of the things I want to talk, like the first thing I want to talk about is to-do list. Now, I have 10 projects. I have 10 projects, and I need to sort out all these projects in a time frame. 3 months. Yeah, I need 3 months to sort out this project. Hello? Hello, please, can you hear me? Sorry, my network went off a bit.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So now I was talking about, like, I have 10 projects to handle, and I have like 3 months to sort out these projects. How do I go about them? Now, this is where a to-do list for projects come into play. Out of these 10 projects, one is very let me use myself, because I think I'll better relate from using myself. Now, I have a couple of projects, and I find out that about 2 of these projects are brand identity projects. Then I have one that is a branding project, because branding goes beyond just brand identity and all. And I have a couple of maybe flyer projects, maybe web design projects, and this, you just know the drill. We're all creatives, or I even have a speaking, just like I'm talking on Virtenship now. I even have a speaking gig somewhere. It's all part of the project and all. Now, the first thing I do is I pen them down in order of priority, starting from the one that will consume the most time. So, of course, from what I say, the branding project is going to consume the most time. Right now, AC Studio is working on a branding project for a startup company, and the timeline for the project is 6 months. That is the timeline for the project. That is how heavy branding is, and I believe we're in our 2nd month now. So that is how heavy when it comes to timing for branding projects. Now, that should be my number one when it comes. Then I probably check, okay, brand identity, we're talking about logo, we're talking about colors, we're talking about a lot of some things like that. Probably logos, colors, and maybe business cards, invoices and all. Maybe I can put that second. Then I can put the web design, or I can put just just arrange it from the ones that will consume most time. As to be, our brain tends to, we want to do the easiest things first, honestly. Like, and I'm talking from my own experience. I know we have other fields here. We have a brand identity. You have a brand identity project. You have a flyer project. The first thing your head will want to tell you at the moment, because you're killing yourself. You see, for me, I don't know about you. For me, I'm most active between the hours of 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. And after 3 p.m., I tend to draw up. Like, I tend to avoid taking things that will have me think a lot and all that. So I cannot come in the morning and waste my creative energy working on flyer project or working on social media designs project. I can't do that. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to tackle the elephant in the room. Now, it doesn't mean that immediately, I'm going to come up with the logo instantly there. So what I do now is, we have, say, 24 hours in a day, and I'm dedicating 14 hours to work. Now, this is just estimating. You might end up dedicating 18 hours, or if you live in Lagos, you might end up, because you guys have like 32 hours in a day. You might end up dedicating 30 hours, whatever it is you want to dedicate to work. So I'm taking, for example, I'm dedicating 14 hours out of my 10 hours to work. Now, for my brand identity project, or for the branding project, let me start with that. I'm going to dedicate 6 hours to it. Now, taking 6 hours off my 14 hours, I believe I have like 8 more hours to go. Then I'm going to dedicate an extra 4 hours to my brand identity project. Or let me keep it at 3 hours. I'm going to dedicate 3 hours to my brand identity project. Then leaving me with 5 more hours to go. Then I'm going to dedicate maybe 2 hours to the web design project. Yeah, 2 hours. Or let's make it 3 hours. Let's make it 3 hours, because it will be like, let's make it 3 hours. I'm dedicating 3 hours. Then I have 2 hours to go. Then I'm going to dedicate 1 hour to my other projects, maybe flyers, social media designs and all, and then 1 hour to nourishing my intellect, or feeding my brain, or feeding whatever you want, feeding your soul or feeding your brain, whatever it is you want to do. So 1 hour to reading. It can be anything. It can be something on branding. It can be something on anything. Real estate web zone. Wow, everything is flowing. Like, it's flowing, and I'm killing this branding project. You might be tempted to overshoot that 6 hours. We're currently working on a branding project. I remember coming up with the name. So we gave ourselves 5 hours to work on the name this particular day. That entire 5 hours, we came up with nothing. That entire 5 hours, we came up with nothing. Like, there was back and forth. Like, you come up with this name, you check it out, someone already has taken it. Like, at the end of that 5 hours, we came up with nothing. And after that 5 hours, we moved to the next thing. That is it. Move to the next thing. So, if you spend 6 hours and you're able to kill everything about the job in like 4 hours, fine, it's beautiful and all. And maybe if you're able to kill everything in 4 hours and you said, okay, now let me throw in those time to other things, or use the extra 2 hours to do something related. Maybe use the extra 2 hours to read on the industry or you're working on, or to get to educate yourself more on the client, this thing. So I prefer that to actually, okay, I want to, because I've finished everything in 4 hours, let me take these 2 hours and put it into web design, maybe add another 1 hour to web design. Or no, I prefer you just stick to that. And maybe, like, that's my own opinion, and it has helped me manage my time well. Now, just stick to that. 6 hours on this project. Once I'm done, I'm moving to the next, which is 3 hours. And at the end of the necessarily I came up with one design. So that is how to-do list helps when it comes to managing your time, because you're working on this project, and I keep saying it, your peace of mind matters. Your peace of mind matters. Trust me, if you do not have peace of mind as a creative, forget the project. Even if you nail or kill that project, for the fact that in the course of that project you did something to alter your peace of mind, you will not even enjoy the project. So these are the things. And at the end of the day, 14 hours dedicated. Now, it might be less. I'm not saying 14 hours is what I dedicate to work and all. Like, it might be less. Maybe you might decide, okay, I dedicate 6 hours, I dedicate 10 hours. And one thing, as you're doing your to-do list, please take out time to do things that are not relevant to your project or not relevant to your work thing, but things that really matter, like visiting a friend, having a drink with a friend, going out to date with the wife or the girlfriend or the boyfriend, whatever it is, like seeing a movie, just also put that as part of your to-do list. And I believe I've said much on this to-do list, but this is basically how I organize my to-do list. Now, the next thing I do when it comes to, or just pretty much, maybe we'll just call it strategies now. The next strategy I use when it comes to time management is the sort of projects I pick. Now, when I pick a project I don't like because I need money or because of whatever it is, or I decide to work for a client, I don't like the client at all. Now, let's say the client pulls one attitude or why are you charging me 1 million naira for just graphic design? It's not just graphic design. When it just I am very, very picky when it comes to the project I do, because I have come to believe that it has helped me in managing my time as well. If I pick a project that stresses me out, I end up not being productive and I end up wasting a lot of time. If there's one thing I like about what I do as a creative, which I believe that we all like, as in we are quite flexible. You love that sense that you can work for anyone, anywhere in the world. Even if the person is in China, even if the brand is or the company is wherever, Dubai, UAE, Australia, even if it's in heaven, you can pretty much work from anywhere. Let me just put it this way. So I don't want anything that working from anywhere, anything that still going back to the peace of mind. Because when you meet a client from hell and you intentionally decide to work for a client from hell, man, I don't know. Like, I don't know how you want to do that. Maybe there are people, I'm still figuring out how to do that, because I don't advise anybody to do that. But it's just something I would not advise you to do in terms of time management. Because when I pick a job I don't like, internally, you won't be productive in that job, because everything about you internally is fighting that project. So that is where. So I'm quite picky. Like, I pick projects that I know that I can flow well with the client, or I pick projects that I know that. Oh, another thing, I don't pick projects that come as an emergency. When someone calls you like, "Hi, I need this project. We need to do this now, and then deliver it in the next 2 hours, or deliver it in the next." Now, I understand if you're working for someone else, not necessarily working for yourself. Maybe you're an employee. Of course, you can't avoid these things, because you can't tell your boss that because this project is an emergency. Please don't say I told you to tell your boss. No, it doesn't necessarily apply. But if you if you're in charge of your business model, if you own your own agency, you're a sole proprietor, a business person, because I don't like using the word freelancer at all. I don't like using that word freelancer. So you're a business person, you handle your business model or your business structure yourself. I don't like taking emergency jobs, because it puts me no, I don't do that. But then if you have at least let something be let something balance it up, because you are affecting your peace of mind at that moment. At least let the pay be enough to help you treat yourself later on. So if you're supposed to be on a date with wifey or girlfriend or boyfriend, and then you decide to pick an emergency job and at first that day, make sure that I'm paying you enough so as to make sure that I'm paying you enough so that at the end of the job, you can make it up to wifey, you can make it up to girlfriend, you are making it up to boyfriend, or you can even make it up to yourself. Maybe I wanted to go to the movies and all. Now, another thing or another strategy that helps me with time management is rest. I tell designers this, especially those that start, like, I know, that adrenaline that comes. The best way to imagine this is, imagine the first time or you started a new relationship. Imagine when you started a new relationship. Even maybe if you're married, when you started it off with your wife as girlfriend or what, that first 2 weeks and all, the drive, this thing, you're talking all the time. Like, in fact, you guys say like 1,000,000 I love you all this while. And so it's the same thing when it comes to, I knew when I entered design, like I knew when I stumbled upon design on YouTube, and I spent about 6 months on YouTube. Like, I wasn't doing any other thing. And I knew when I started, when the first money, I did something for someone, the person actually paid me for it. It felt so good. And that period, like, it was like an overdrive. It's like taking this drug that just takes you to another level. Like, I'm taking everything. I'm like, wow, I'm feeling so good about it. I'm pretty much working 24/7. Like, I'm pretty much working. Like, you can call me 10 p.m. I'm like, yeah, sure. You need in the next 1 hour. Like, yeah, I do everything and send you by 11 p.m. or like, it was just an overdrive. Like, I was having fun. But give yourself 1 year, give yourself 2 years and all that, and then your body starts telling on you, especially when you start understanding well the business aspect of design. Now, give your time to rest. For God's sake, even God rested. Even God rested. And I love this Chris Do's. If you always look at Chris Do's his face cap, you say God is a designer. That's the same. As far as I'm concerned, regardless of however, whether you're a Christian or you're a Muslim, like, we all believe that God created the world. Now, that is our first revelation of God as a creator. And we are in the creative industry. We practically, every day of our life, we spend it creating things. We're building websites, we're building flyers, we're building images, we're building a lot of things. So, definitely, even him as a designer rested. Madam, Oga, rest. Now, one thing I do for myself is that I take out 2 days. I don't work. 2 days. Now, for you, your 2 days can typically be the Saturday and Sunday for you. It's fine. But it means 2 days, nothing that has to do with work. Like, I'm off work. Like, I'm really, really off work. Even if you offer me $1 billion, let's decide that Saturday and Sunday is my rest day. Now, it can be anything. Let's be frank. The world has changed. It's no longer a Monday, everything is serious, like the work is, or it starts from Monday and then ends on Friday. For some people, I know people that work on Sundays now. In fact, I know people that their Monday is their Sunday. Like, they practically do everything. But take out time to rest. Like I said, for myself, it's 2 days. Now, these 2 days allows me, like, I'm not taking in any work. It allows me to refresh. It allows me to do those things I love. PlayStation, going out to the movies, taking care of myself, going on dates with the lovely woman in my life, hanging out with families and all that. It helps me manage my time well. It helps me when I go back to on Monday, that's if my work day starts Monday, I can, like, all right, now I have 14 hours to give to my work, and then 1 hour to give later on to hang out with a friend or all that. So it allows me. But if I don't have this time to rest, if I don't have this time to take care of myself, first and foremost, this body is dying every day, especially as you're growing older. Let's be frank, like how you feel now is not the same way you felt 5 years ago or 10 years ago, especially with being in this physical body. Now that's why we do a lot of things, like as a man, you're either cutting down on your sugar intake, you're exercising, whatever it is you're doing to keep fit and all that. But the thing is that we are breaking down, like, so the body is dying every day as we get older. So why will I want to hasten it up by taking loads of pain, like just not resting at all, working 247? No, I won't be like, I don't want to do that. I recently lost a friend at 32, and I remember going for his burial, seeing them put him in the ground, and it just hit me. I am never going to see my friend again. And the guy is just 32. And the way Nigeria is today, I don't know wherever you're connecting from, but I know that with not just Nigeria, the world in particular, but Nigeria is quite unique. You know, last year threw everybody off balance with the whole COVID-19 thing and all. But the way, talking about Nigeria, because Nigeria is very, very unique, it's a wonderful place, it's a very, very unique place and all. You know, it gives you this sense of like, let me just do everything. I need this money now. If I slack one bit, let me hustle. That hustling spirit and all. Trust me, you're gonna burn out and you're gonna crash on the road. And the road is gonna be there. This will better illustrate it. See yourself as a car. You put in full tank, and you decide to, I'm going to run the entire Nigeria, like I'm going to go throughout the entire 36 states of Nigeria, full tank. And you hit the road. Maybe you start from Lagos, Abuja, wherever, you hit the road. Instantly. You're not stopping for refueling, you're not stopping for anything, you're just hitting the road. Wherever you are, whether Nigeria, whether America, it's going to run down, and then you're probably at the result, and then what? No. I need to, like, I have this thing, this goal. Like, I need to make 100 million naira. Like, I need to make $1 million. Like, this thing, I have this goal. So you're still running on the reserve tank. It's going to get to a point, the car is going to stop. You just crash. That's the end of your journey. Like, the car is definitely going to stop on the road. But did you notice that the road did not change? Like, the road didn't even go anywhere. In fact, the road's not even going to move for you or have pity for you. In fact, at the same time your car is parked by the side, another car just moves past, like, yeah. And then you see cars, even I know on the journey, you see cars going into the fuel station, buying fuel and all that. That is how you need to see this. Because when you crash and die, in my own crashing, I mean die and all that, we have millions of creatives in the creative industry to take over from you. That is it. And the creative industry, or wherever it is, it's not going to go anywhere. It's still going to be here. So why do you want to burn out? And these things might seem unrelated. Like, how does this relate? How does resting relate to me managing projects? Or how does, in fact, it's not when I rest that I was like, imagine me taking off 2 days. And I'm not working at all. Won't that affect? I give a client 6 months to come up with a branding project. And I'm telling you that I'm taking out Wednesdays and Fridays. I'm taking out Wednesdays and Sundays as my rest day. Won't that affect my timeline and all that? No, it won't actually. Because I take out time to rest, do other things. I've been in this situation. I don't know about you, but I've been in this situation whereby I really don't know. I got this project and I really didn't know how to go around this project or anything. But I didn't bother myself. What I did was that I went online. I saw a movie, like a new movie. I just hit the road, went to the cinema, started watching the movie. It was in the process of watching the movie, like the idea for the identity, I saw it on the screen. Like it was something else, something unrelated to it. So sometimes, like even that time, your spirit tells you like, go and rest, go and do other things. Trust me, your brain is working. Is working 2/4/7. Even when you're sleeping, your brain is working, because that time, that's when. But when you give it rest, that's when you get to tap into your brain. Have you been in that situation whereby you went to sleep, like you just went to sleep, and then you woke up after working on? Let me use logo design as example now. After illustrating a logo and all that, illustrating something, maybe a symbol, and then you feel like, okay, this is good. Then you went to sleep. You woke up in the morning, and then you're looking at it like, okay, I need to tweak it this way. I can do this thing. Like, what was your brain doing the work as you're sleeping? Your brain was processing what you illustrated and thinking about how to make it better. See, our brain is working 2/4/7 even while we are sleeping. Why do you want to overwork yourself when your brain is pretty much doing everything, especially when you're feeding it in terms of like you're reading up on the industry, you're resting as well. So why do you want to burn out? Rest. Like I said, even God rested. So if God rested, why won't you want to rest? Like, who doesn't rest? We have a president in Nigeria that is a serial rester. Like, he always rests. And that is a good thing. If you look at the man, he's looking young, fresh, and all that. You guys cannot come and kill him, please. We have other things. Even presidents, the US president, he also have his rest days or whatever, his leave or whatever you call it. These guys do this. So why would you not want to take advantage of one thing that God has blessed you with, which is rest? Please take very, very good advantage of it. So one thing I do is this. Someone told me this. Okay, I heard this from Tola Alabi. I heard this from Tola Alabi, and during the early days of me meeting him, he said something like, under promise and over deliver. And honestly, I've heard it after he said that to me. I've heard it like 1,001 times. Like every time I hear people say, okay, under promise and over deliver. And when we say under promise and over deliver, people don't used to equate it to time. Going back to using me now, like I said, there's a branding project we gave the client 6 months, but we are working to ensure that this project, in fact, when we did the whole project analysis and everything now, we are comfortable that 3 months, like 3 months is going to be enough to finish this project. 3 months is going to be enough to finish this project. But then now we said, okay, let's add an extra month. So 4 months in-house. 4 months is our timeline. 4 months in-house, 4 months is our timeline. But when I sat with the client, I told the client, see, this project is going to take 6 months. And lucky enough for me, because I always like to assess the clients before I know the sort of clients to even go further to having other meetings with. They're like, okay, cool, we're fine with 6 months. Like, because we're starting this project and we want to start it well. We don't just want to just start and then want to start it well. So if you're telling me that in 6 months' time we're gonna get a branding job and all that, we're gonna trust you. Like 6 months is fine. Like I told you, in-house, I told my team 4 months. That's what we're, and like we've already spent 2 months. So, well, we've gotten about 50% of the job done, but they don't know it yet. In fact, to them, we're still like, because there's still enough time. We still have extra 4 months. See, that allows us in-house to, like, at the end of the 4 months, we can present it to them, like, or in the 5th month, we can like, oh yeah, call them up and like, please, can we have a meeting like fortunately we're able to come up with the first draft before before the deadline or before due date. So let's have a meeting and go over it so that if there's any changes we can all we can work on it, and then before the due date there's one thing it does to your client, it makes your client feel like wow, like this is impressive. This guy is really good at time management. This guy can really, he respects my schedule. Like he has my business, and because he wants us to sit down and edit this thing and do this thing before. But it's also a strategy for us to rest. It's also a strategy for us to rest because it gives us the opportunity that 4 months and we come up with the first draft of everything, like the entire branding project is up, and then we show it to them, we test the beta design and all, and they're like, okay, I like this, I don't like this, let's try this, and we brainstorm. Of course our team will okay, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, this and all. And then even if there's some sort of modification to be done or anything to modify, we still do it, and at the end of 6 months we'll probably have done everything, and the project is out there. Now imagine if it's going to take me 6 months to do the project, and I tell the client, okay, give me 6 months to do this project. By the end of the 6th month, I should be delivering the first draft, and then the client will go and modify, and then if there's any sort of modification to do and all, the client will okay, yeah, you gave me 6 months and then you came up with the first draft in 6 months and all. It's fine, sure, and it's all right. They probably will not tell this to your face, but then to them, you're eating into their time because they will want to launch the project in probably the 7th month, the next month. But then now, the time meant to be launching the project, you're taking the time now, you're having some back and forth, especially if you're dealing with companies that have board of directors and all that, people that they answer to, or people that will have to, or let's just put it this way, maybe the project has to pass through the hand of the CEO, or has to pass through the hand of the marketing head, to the regional head, to the CEO's desk, to the board of directors, before they get back to you, is another 1 month and all that. This is why it's good to under-promise in terms of time. So it goes back to what I said when we started. Never allow the client to give you the schedule or to tell you yeah, you have 2 months to do this. No. If you tell me you have 2 months to do this, I'm why? No, I can't do this in 2 months. This is how much time we are going to do this. But if the client sees that I have 2 months to do this, what you're going to do, you're going to give me you're going to have to lend me some of your staffs, and I'm going to have to give them some work to do, and I won't pay them. That's the thing, I won't pay them and all. They're going to do that work because you won't eat into my peace of mind. So now, remember this respecting the other person's time. When I say the other person's time, I know you actually think of the other person, but also think of it in 2 ways. Think of it in perspective of the client, respecting your own time. Because when a client tells you, or it goes back to the emergency work I talk about, now I'm having this Virtenship. Imagine someone had called me by 3 p.m. Hey, Ike, please, something came up now, or there's this thing the one that annoys me the most is someone come and say, I wanted to call you yesterday, but then I forgot. But then now, so please, I need to do this thing, please. I'll pay you now. But then 3 p.m. I'm supposed to be here with the Virtenship team talking about time management, and I said, okay, because you're going to pay me maybe 100,000 or 50,000 naira, and then I'll just call Michael. Hey, Michael, please, my network is messing up. Can you give me an extra 30 minutes so that I sort out some things and then get back to you and all that? So nah, that's not. The guy has no The guy has no respect for my peace of mind. So the guy has no respect for my schedule. As far as I'm concerned, he has no respect for my schedule. That client has no respect. No matter how close we are, you have no respect for my schedule. Now, I don't come out and then aggressively tell, what do you mean? Like, oh, hey, sorry. Okay. See, the thing is, right now, I'm with some friends. I'm hanging out with some friends, and I don't work on Saturday. So sorry. But what I can do for you is that maybe I can give you someone's number to call, or then the thing. Sometimes they're like, oh, okay, you know what? I'll call you back on Monday. They will call you back on Monday and give you that same thing that they called you on Saturday to tell you that they need it now. That's when you really understand that this guy, sometimes they are manipulative, because they know that they have you as a creative person, that they feel like you don't have any other thing, that the only thing you do is you spend your time on your laptop, or you spend your time on your workstation. If so, like some of us that have workstations at home, or like that's just what you do because you love designing and all. As if the only thing God did was he spent his time just designing everything, and he's still designing everything. No, like, rest. Give yourself that time to rest and allow yourself say no. Yeah, that's another thing. Please, I just remember, please do not feel bad about telling people no, especially as an employee. Maybe you're working as a graphic designer for this. Because one thing I tend to understand about graphic designers is that we are too nice. I don't know if it has to do with the industry. We are too nice. Like, we're too nice. Or like, hey Nelly, what's up now? I'm talking about in illustrating from an office point of view. Like, please, I need you to quickly do this thing for me, and then or Nelly, my wedding, especially your colleagues, those people know how to take advantage. That my traditional marriage is coming up. Like, they will just keep telling you that traditional marriage is coming up, but they will never come to you and they're like, okay, my traditional marriage is coming up. I want you to design the cards. I want you to design the IVs, the all that, and the banner and all. Please, can you send me an invoice? No, they won't do that. They will just tell you, okay, probably one day you see them like, hey, please, Nelly, can you help me? Help me. Like, that's some words I hate. Can you help me design? Can you help me design my IP this thing? Help, like, I'm a helper. I'm not the Holy Spirit. I mean, like, because that simply means I'm not going to pay you for this. That's what it means. I am not going to pay you. When they say, can you help me do this thing? That simply means I'm not going to pay you. Or even if I'm going to pay you, it's going to be peanuts. Like, we won't treat this as a back to our to-do list. I've given myself 8 hours to work on this thing. Even in the office, like, because I believe some of us have like people working with people that are employees working in an office space. When you probably come in a day, they give you, okay, these are the things, or these are your list, your deliverables for today. And when you're giving yourself time, okay, for this, you'll spend 2 hours on this. For this, I'm going to spend so and so hours on this. Then, in the midst of doing one thing, and a colleague of yours walks in and like, hey, please, can you help me send this mail? Even down to sending mail, can you help me send this mail? Me and you know that how many minutes does it take to send a mail? Maybe you can even spend a minute or 2 minutes to send a mail. Like, can you help me send this mail? Or can you help me please work on this? Like, I really need to have to go and get my child from school. I have to go and do whatever it is. Even if a pregnant woman, please, I need to rush down to the hospital for my antenatal, I believe, or for pregnant women and all. Please look the person in the face and say, no, hey, I would have loved to, like, really, I would love to, but I'm very busy now. I can't do this right now. Maybe just try this person, or like learn to say no, because whatever extra job you're taking is eating into the time that you've allotted for something else. So, and you might have to make up for it, because sometimes even that sending email that is supposed to take 2 minutes, sometimes it we're in Nigeria. It's still turning, and then when it finally loads, by the time you put in everything, everything is just slow. At the end of the day, you spend 15 minutes doing something that was supposed to take a minute or 2 minutes. So you see, you've lost 15 minutes of time that you're supposed to do something else. And there's one thing. Okay, let me just share this. I remember there's a job I got because I showed up on time. It's very funny, not because I'm the best, honestly, not because I'm the best, or it's because I showed up on time. Now, if I for the time, that's impressive. What's your name? Like this time management, people management, customer service, all these soft skills, we don't know its importance till we get into the field, and we find out that most of the job you're going to get as a creative, you're going to get it because of your soft skill, your ability to interact with people, your ability to manage time, your ability to manage people, your ability to manage resources, not because you are the best. In fact, to hell with being the best. To hell with being the best. Now, when I mean being the best, I mean being the best photo show. As busy as Dangote is, as busy as Bill Gates is, as busy as Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mike Zuckerberg, as busy as these guys are, I believe time management is something that is why even for them that don't have that are very lousy at handling time, they have assistants, personal assistants that helps them. Why you think that's why they get these people? That's why. So they're like, okay, sir, we watch movies now. They come in the day. Okay, your itinerary for today. You're going to have a meeting with this. You're going to have a listening. At the end of the day, it feels like those guys are always in time. Like they always show up and all that. It's because they've set up. Now that me and you maybe you don't have time you don't have the resources to pay someone else to be your live to-do list, or to be your live calendar or whatever reminder. You can use free tools like digital tools, sticky notes and all that, even digital sticky notes and all that, to help yourself keep yourself in check. I have a meeting like now. I already scheduled today that I'm going to have this meeting 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Trust me, after 4:30, maybe it's going to, because it's the weekend, like I really don't, because it's the weekend and there's no work and all. And after this meeting, I plan on playing PlayStation. Yeah, after this, I plan on playing PlayStation. Nothing. I don't care what you're offering me. I don't care. Like, in fact, the management of Inkandcodeshq, or even Michael cannot call me later and like, okay, can we have a meeting later by 5 p.m.? Okay, you're on your own. Later by 5. Sorry, I'm doing something very important. That thing I'm doing very important is I'm playing PlayStation. Please, you be like, that is it. That is it. It's not you being rigid. Now I should have time to do other things for myself. And now, because I know we have like about 14 minutes to go, but I just want to round up with this so that if there's any question, so that we can just ask questions. I can take some questions and answer that. But I just want to round up with this. Like I said, time management is respecting the other person's schedule and your peace of mind. So respect and peace of mind are the two things I want you to get out of this. Because if I don't respect you, if I didn't respect this really, really amazing team, if I didn't respect this really, really amazing team and what they are doing, I won't be here. and I won't be here on time. If I don't value my own peace of mind, I wouldn't have created, okay, after this, I want to do other things that make me feel alive, make me feel young, and make me feel like this life is really worth enjoying and all that. So do the things that makes you really feel good about your accomplishment, no matter how small it is. And whatever stresses you, trust me, whatever stresses you, wrap it up properly, fold it properly, put it in a box and push it away and tell the thing, not today. I think it was from Game of Thrones, right? Not today. So that's all I have to say now, and I know we're going to meet next week and still we'll talk more on this time management.
And if you look at the comment section, you could everyone can look at the comment section later, or as we talk. So you pick up these points. It's for you. We'll still be sharing more of these points within the